Guess who's back with a brand new track?
I don't know how it goes.
No, as do I. How do you do, fellow kids?
It's been a while, but we've had good reasons.
Yes, we've been busy.
We've been very busy. As you probably saw in our last video, we decided to open a bookshop. What are we doing?
I don't know.
So yes, we decided to open a bookshop. That was a big move.
It was.
In our lives.
Huge.
Yeah, it turns out that it's not easy.
No, it's been an adventure.
Yeah. Why don't we talk about it?
Yeah, I think we should.
Let's use this video,
Yeah.
the format of this video, to talk about the bookshop.
Yes.
Yeah?
Good idea.
I think people will find that interesting.
Yes. So, opening a bookshop, 101.
101. What do you need to do to open a bookshop?
First of all, lose your mind.
Yes.
A lady said to me today, she said, I own another shop in town. She said, we're either very brave or very stupid.
Yeah.
I was like, let's go with brave.
Opening a retail business in 2024, you need to have a good business case to do it, because it's not let's just say retail's going out.
Yeah.
And so you kind of need to have a clear thing in mind as to what you're trying to do. But thankfully, I mean, if you look at all of like the trends, you look at like the Financial Times, you know, they're doing an article every other day going, bookshops are on the up.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, let's ride that wave.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that kind of led us into this path, didn't it?
Yeah.
Which we kind of went into quite kind of doughy-eyed and optimistic and thinking, oh, this will be the best thing ever. Because last year, we went on holiday to the Lake District, and there was a point there when I just like had this really overwhelming kind of feeling of like, I need to open a bookshop. Like, we've talked about this before, but like there was a sense that this was going to be, that we needed to do this.
Yeah.
And you've had this since you were like 4.
Yeah.
So there was always this sense of like, this is a thing we need to do.
Yeah.
And so we went into it.
I've always wanted a bookshop.
You've always wanted a bookshop.
Since I was, this big.
Yeah. And at the time you're probably thinking, I'm going to stock Mog, and I'm going to stock
The Home Farm
Zog.
twins.
What other? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, horrible histories and Artemis Fowl. To be fair, we are stocking Artemis Fowl.
Stocking all of those.
Yeah.
You wanted to do this for a very long time.
Yeah.
We went into it kind of a little bit naive, I think, about like exactly how challenging it is. Not in terms of like, I mean, you can. All the administrative stuff isn't actually that difficult. It's really the emotional element and like the
administrative stuff. The actual admin itself isn't hard. You just need to get it all on a list and go down the list and tick it off. It's the volume of it that's challenging.
Yeah.
So as long as you're organised, you can get through it.
And well, that's what you do.
And that's what I do.
Yeah.
I'm a professional organiser. I always have been.
Perfect person to open a bookshop.
Well, yeah. The emotional aspect, I don't think either of us were really prepared.
Yeah, I think there was, when we got our first commercial lease, because we actually, Secrets, this is actually the second building, second premises that we applied to. When we applied to the first one and the lease came through, we suddenly kind of realised the depth of what it was that we were essentially signing up for, because commercial leases are terrifying. If you've ever read one, it basically feels as if you're signing the next 10 years of your life away.
Yeah. All of the legal framework around a commercial lease is geared towards protecting the landlord. Very little of it is really around the tenant.
Yeah.
So the first one that came through was 100% written just to protect the landlord. There was very little in it for us. We did also, stupidly, I don't know, we didn't have legal representation because my dad's worked in the legal field for many years and we know people in the field, so we decided to represent ourselves. Maybe in hindsight we shouldn't have scrimped on that. We should have.
It would have been probably a lot less stress. Then it's the solicitor who's informing you about the things, rather than you reading it and going, oh that sounds horrible.
Yeah.
And so a shop opened up around the corner with a much less intense lease on it,
the shop that we've ended up with, when we initially applied, we were told, sorry, there's an established retailer that's already thrown their hat in the ring. You know, they've already got heads of terms out. You guys don't have a financial history. you are a startup, you probably won't get to look in. And we thought, well, let's just register our interest anyway. And we were super, super fortunate that our now landlord was so enthusiastic about having a bookshop in his building that he gave us preferential terms. He did like a whole refit of the shop. He's been fantastic.
And look, as Bleeding Heart lefties, we just want to eat the rich.
Yeah.
But we have to say that we really are big fans of our landlord. He's a
we've
very
really
nice
lucked
man.
out. Yeah, he's great.
That made things a lot easier, but it didn't make things completely easy.
Yeah.
I must say, like the mental toll that just like doing business with your loved one as well. Like you don't want it to take away something you have. You don't want it to like make your relationship about the business.
Yeah.
So
we put a rule in place: no talking about the bookshop after 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Because we just did not want it to completely suck up all of our lives. We wanted to come home and, have dinner and watch Netflix and cuddle the cat and, you know, carry on with our lives to an extent. Go out to pub quizzes with our friends and do the things that we enjoy. Go swimming, go for walks, and not constantly be talking about the shop. So we had to put that hard line in place.
Yeah.
Do not talk about the shop after this time.
Yeah.
I think that's actually been really helpful.
It has been really helpful. The only issue here, Laura, is that we're recording this video currently it is 2 minutes to 8.
Yeah, well, tonight
we've got 2 more minutes. Yes, it has been challenging. It's taken quite a mental toll, but I think, well, I mean, why don't you tell us about the first week? Because we've been trading since Monday.
Yeah, we opened on Monday. Today's Thursday. We're recording on Thursday. So we've had 4 full trading days. Each day has been amazing.
Yeah.
Each day has exceeded the target that I'd set in terms of financials.
I would say even each day, well, I mean, those financials, it's been more than double what we need to be earning to break even.
Yeah.
And that's paying you the salary that we want to be able to pay you as well. So it's been fantastic.
We've done so well, but we are only on day 4.
Yeah.
And I'm really trying to stay level-headed about it because there is an element that is the people of Tunbridge Wells are excited that there's a new shop. It is the run up to Christmas. I know it's not quite December yet, but people are preparing for the festive period. I think those are key factors.
Yeah.
A lot of people are coming in going, oh, I'm just so excited that there's an independent bookshop in Tunbridge Wells now. This is fantastic. We've only ever had a Waterstones and the lovely antiquarian shop down the bottom. But to have an independent new bookshop is really fantastic. So they're coming in purely out of excitement and curiosity. But it's whether in, 3, 6, 12 months' time, that curiosity will have worn off, that will become part of the furniture. Is the trade also going to peter off? And I think inevitably, yes.
There will be some petering off. But that at the same time, it should be on the longer term. If you look at most independent bookshops, how they've kind of done, year 1 has been, fairly low, and then year 2 and year 3, and they do actually grow over time.
Yeah.
So it's like a honeymoon period kind of now. So it's probably going to come down a little bit, and then I think it's going to steadily grow.
Yeah, but famously, most new businesses are not profitable for the first 3 years. So there's that.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying. And there's no way for us to know after 4 days trading whether we're going to buck that trend. So ask us again in 6 months, 12 months' time.
So what's been easier than you expected it to be so far?
I think going back into retail, having been in an office for the last, 8 years, I didn't expect to enjoy being back in retail on the shop floor. And I think that is because I don't have a manager breathing down my neck. I can, if I want to just sit behind the till and play on my phone, I can do that. I'm the boss. The people at Tunbridge Wells, I've not had any single negative comment so far. Not one. Again, we're on day 4. Ask me again in 6 months. But so far, everyone has been so overwhelmingly positive and enthusiastic.
You did have someone asking today why we're not stocking the Boris Johnson book.
And I said, because it's my shop and I don't want to.
Yeah, exactly.
And she went, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I was expecting, because I've worked in retail on and off since I graduated. I started on the shop floor, then went into e-commerce operations, operations management, operations development, and then this happened. So I've been in the retail sphere my whole career, but I've not been on the shop floor for a long time. So I was a bit nervous going back onto the shop floor, knowing what customers can be like. Sometimes people are assholes. But so far, touch wood, everyone has been thoroughly delightful.
Tell us a little bit about the girl who keeps coming in.
Oh, so there's this one girl who's come in. We've been open 4 days. She's come in 4 times. And she just comes in. Today she came in with this battered old library book and just went and sat in the children's section and just sat there and read her book. And I was like, this is what we wanted to build. We wanted to build a safe, comfortable place for people to come and just chill out. And she came over and was showing me the book that she was reading, and it was so mashed. And I was talking to her, and she was like, we were talking about, because we were stocking some Radical Tea Towel Christmas stockings. And there's one from the WSPU, which is I forget what the acronym stands for. It's the Women's Social and Political Union, which was a suffragette society back in the early 20th century. And I was talking to her about the suffragettes, and I was talking about, women's rights and the history of women's activism. And it was just really great to have this kid that's come in 4 times in 4 days and just feels comfortable to just come and sit and read and be around literature. And this is exactly why we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
And it makes my heart feel happy. I didn't expect that to happen in week 1. But here we are.
Here we are. Already achieving what we wanted to achieve.
Yeah.
Obviously, being a bookshop, we're also, there are books in it.
Yeah.
Right? And so we spent quite a long time kind of going through the stock and deciding what to stock. We must say thank you to a number of people for helping us out with some genres that we didn't know a lot about.
Yeah.
I'd like to shout out Fiona and Alice for helping us out with our fiction and our non-fiction, and also Ray for helping us out with our non-fiction. And we have to thank Andrew, not that Andrew, different Andrew, and Amanda for giving us basically our entire kids section. And we have to elevate in your awareness their amazing business, which is called Spy Readers.
We'll link it below.
We'll link it below. It's all about showing you what's inside kids' books. So adults, parents, teachers can make the right decisions about what books to buy their kids.
If you have a primary aged child, it's a completely incredible resource.
Yeah.
Especially if your child has like an advanced reading age for their, chronological age.
Something like that.
So you know that what you're giving them to read is appropriate. Or if your child is a reluctant reader, you know that what you're giving them is going to interest them. Or if your child has dyslexia, they're helping us signpost books which are specifically written with dyslexic children in mind. So they're written on yellow pages in a specific font.
We're really proud of that kids section. Despite the fact that we didn't choose any of the books.
We didn't choose the books, but we're so proud of it and so grateful to Amanda and Andrew at Spy Readers for helping us to curate it. So please, if you have primary age kids, hit Spy Readers. We'll put a link below.
Yes. And aside from kids section, we talked about the other sections here. There are some pretty cool books that we're stocking that we only found out about, I think, through doing the searching through the books.
Yeah.
I gotta say, there's this amazing copy of We Have Always Lived in the Castle, which we've put on our we've put on our main shelf that kind of shows the books that we've been reading this year. There's an incredible copy of Frankenstein as well. Like so many cool non-fiction books that really inspire me to read.
Same.
Like
so many.
I really want to get stuck into James Rebanks.
Same. I was just thinking that the new James Rebanks book looks incredible.
I mean, I was listening to a podcast interview with him and James O'Brien, and I thought, this guy is interesting. I need to find out more about him.
Yeah, it looks really, really, really good.
Yeah. There's Akala's book, Natives, as well.
That came out a few years ago, but it still looks...
Yeah.
What else? There's so many interesting books about the environment and like about wildlife and things like that. Like there's a new Chris Packham one. It's called Fingers in the Sparkle Jar. And I've never really read memoir, but it just sounds great.
That sounds great. Yeah, actually the memoirs all sound great.
Yeah,
there's so many interesting looking memoirs.
So we went into this as avid sci-fi fantasy readers that, you know, we love reading, we love books. We've both read outside sci-fi fantasy. I've read an awful lot of classics, but being around all these amazing books across contemporary literature, across non-fiction, it's really like, it's so inspiring. It makes me just want to read all the time, but unfortunately there's quite a lot to do.
Yes, if you ever thought that opening a bookshop would give you lots of time to read, just dispense with that idea.
Yeah.
There's a bookshop to run.
Yeah. Yeah, it was when the first delivery arrived to be unpacked and the guy came in with a trolley of boxes and I was like, oh.
I'm going to have to put those somewhere. That's going to take me all afternoon.
Yeah, oh.
Add one more book to the list, which I think I might have mentioned in previous videos, which is Ursula Le Guin's Steering the Craft, which has just come out in a new edition by Silver Press.
It's so beautiful.
Beautiful.
The edition, the new edition.
It's beautiful, and it is the best book on writing, the most practical book on writing that I could recommend to you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big fan of Anne Lamott. I'm a big fan of like Dry as English and all that kind of stuff. But this is really, really good. So
sold lots of copies of that.
Yeah.
Because it's on our wall of these are our favourite, mine and Ross's favourites. So we've sold lots of copies of Steering the Craft.
Yeah. So all in all, it's going pretty well.
It's going really well. It's going well. It's been challenging. I think until, I'd say halfway through Monday, I was just numb. Like my thoughts were just static, just white noise. I was not emoting anymore. But it was when I got home on Monday night after we'd had the first day, it had gone so well, and I was just like, oh my God, we did it. We did it. We've opened a shop, and now I get to talk about books all day.
It's the best job you've ever had, really, isn't it?
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily. And there's so many challenges to come. I still need to work out, you know, like paying the bills that is a whole other concern that I don't even have the headspace for.
It's gonna be fine, but it does involve work.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, every business has things that aren't as fun. So,
behind every business there is a business owner going,
yeah.
If you want to support us and you're not local to Tunbridge Wells, we are on bookshop.org.
Yes, so there are two methods here. So UK folk,
Yeah.
bookshop.org.
Yeah.
You can find us there.
Yes.
Nominate us and we get 30% of every sale, which is basically only a little bit worse than if you'd come to the shop and bought the book yourself.
Yeah, because our wholesaler gives us 35% on most things. So it would be as though you came in. Thereabouts.
So please do look at bookshop.org and nominate us.
Yeah.
If you're international,
Yeah.
I believe you can still also do this. There's Libro FM, which is similar to bookshop.org for audiobooks.
Yes.
So yes, if you're in the UK, you can also support us through Libro FM, and I think international people can too, but we will have to confirm that. Maybe try.
I think you can.
I'm
pretty sure you can.
Give it a go. Which, if you're already buying audiobooks, you might as well nominate us.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are pretty cool. Laura, we have a few more shout outs to do at the end of this video.
Yes.
First of all, shall we talk about a few books that we've been reading, just so you know that we're still reading.
We do still read.
We do still read. I want to talk about a couple.
We're not complete frauds.
I read The Black Hunger by Nicholas Pullen, which was also Broken Bindings Halloween box book, and I had a great time with this. It's really good if you like The Historian, for instance, by Elizabeth Kostova. It's kind of quite similar-ish, bit darker.
Is that the one that's about the vampire?
Yeah, so it reads similarly.
Okay.
I enjoyed that a lot. That was really good, although it was very dark. I also have started a reread of Lord of the Rings, so I read The Hobbit and then Fellowship of the Ring in November. That was the Andy Serkis audiobook narration. Needed that. Just needed a bit of comfort. Sometimes you just need to go back.
The US election results really took the wind out of your sails, and that was also roughly the day that we got the keys to the shop, and we were both in emotional turmoil generally.
Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah, it was a tough few days.
Really tough.
Yeah, sending love across the ocean.
What have you read recently as well?
Well, I have read the Booker Prize winner, Orbital.
I also read this.
It's very good. It's beautifully written. Not a lot happens in it.
No, and so if you're looking for a plot-heavy book, this is not the one for you.
Not this one. It is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's exquisitely written. I don't think I've ever read anything like it. I can't even describe it. It's gorgeous.
It's definitely worth trying if you like beautiful prose.
Yeah, the prose is. I will say though, if you are looking for a very short, digestible read, which is plotty, that's in a similar kind of sci-fi vein to Orbital, can I please bring to your attention The Practice, the Horizon and the Chain by Sophia Samatar.
This is great.
This is incredible. Unbelievable. I read this when we were on holiday in Cornwall recently, and I read it in one sitting. It's absolutely incredible.
It's brilliant.
Read this. Amazing.
What else you got?
I've also finished reading recently The Silver Blood Promise by James Logan. This was a very fun romp. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, it really is good.
Yeah, it gives me big Lives of Lot Lamora vibes. Very, very good.
Can't wait for the sequel. It's going to be great.
It's going to be great. So look at that artwork.
Yeah. Is that a Jeff Brown?
Yeah. Jeff Brown artwork.
Classic Jeff Brown.
Gorgeous.
I'm currently, because Wind and Truth is coming out, I have decided that it is time for me to continue with Stormlight, so I have just started the hefty chunker that is Oathbringer. Time to find out what the oaths are and who it is who is bringing them. But speaking of Stormlight, Laura,
yes,
we have a very important shout out.
We do, a very overdue one as well. Our wonderful friend, Andrew Stevens, sent us a very generous present after he watched our book collection video, and we mentioned that there was a gap in our collection. And we went and checked our PO box, not expecting to have received a US hardback of The Way of Kings.
We finally got one.
I've been wanting this edition for so long. I opened it in the car and I cried. I'm so grateful, Andrew. You have no idea. This is... Oh, you're the best.
We are just so grateful for, obviously, not just Andrew's support, but all of your support as well.
Yeah.
We have the best audience.
Yeah.
Which is, to be honest, I don't think of you guys as an audience. I think of you as a community.
Definitely.
So we have the best friends on this little platform, and we're so grateful for all of you. And thank you for your support as we do something crazy,
scary. And apologies for not having made a video for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But I hope you'll give us some grace while we navigate this extremely scary, exciting thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, please do hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like if you've enjoyed it. And we will see you next week.